Hi, it's Heather. I am back with another project for Butterfly Reflections Inc. I created a mini album this time, thought I'd switch it up a little bit. So obviously I didn't do a whole process video because in total this probably took me 24 hours. That would have been a really long video. So I thought that I would just do a flip through, and for more details about the products that I used, you could head over to the blog. I list all of them there, and I'll go through and mention what I used as well. I pulled quite a bit from my stash, so it's not all on the online store, but I will point out what is. I love this collection. It was perfect for my daughter's recent birthday party. She wanted a unicorn party like every other young girl these days. I clipped some charms that I had to the binder rings and tied it closed with a piece of ribbon. I just put eyelets in the front and the back, and I created the cover out of a piece of transparency acetate. It has some text on it. I believe it's from Bella Boulevard. That was from my stash. And then I just added some strips of paper. This is washi tape, sort of. It has a backing on it. That's from my stash. And then this part of the title is from a cut apart from one of the pattern papers from the 6x6 paper pad. And this die cut is from the odds and ends embellishment pack for the collection. And then these little sticker alphas are from Ellie Studio. I stitched those on with my sewing machine so they would not fall off. And I just repeated this on the back just to make it look clean. I used most of the papers except for the white cardstock came from the Doodlebug collection. And this cut file is a Paige Evans cut file. I backed it with some glitter paper from my stash, and these papers are the exception from, actually, I think this one also is from a 6x6 paper pack from Sunny Studios, which you can find on the website. It matched perfectly, and I believe it's called Rainbow Bright. Just has a lot of multicolored papers and some solids with hearts. And then I even added some more shimmer with my Nuvo shimmer pen because I love it. I added vellum in the back of the face. I used some punches. I did break out some punches. So I just added a little bit there. This is a cut file from the Cut Shop. I had to alter it a little bit just to make room for my binder rings, and then I did some hand stitching. This I cut out from one of the paper pads, or one of the papers from the paper pad. This card right here actually came from the paper pad Paige Evans. I believe it was the Oh My Heart. So I backed it with pattern papers, and I did some hand stitching. Then there were some holes in it, which I used my Nuvo drops to fill in, but it wasn't, I guess, even. They didn't quite turn out like they normally do. I love using those, and they work really well, but for some reason they just didn't sit well. These gems are from Pretty Pink Posh. And all the journaling that I added, I use the Jelly Glaze Pen. That is what it's called. This I got on the online store, and as you can see, I pretty much used all of it. I had a lot of writing to do, but I love the way that it looks. It writes very smoothly. These two cut files are also from the Cut Shop. I just layered them behind, and the papers are actually from a Lawn Fawn paper pad. I added a lot of washi tape, excuse me, a lot of washi tape to some of the areas, a lot of times just on the inside where the binder rings would be, because, you know, with constant flipping over time it might tear. And I just wanted to add some extra detail. There is a piece of paper in the Fairy Tales paper pad that has a whole bunch of sentiments and things to cut apart, so I used a lot of those there. This is really old from my stash. It is from Heidi Swapp. It's watercolor paper, and so I used my Prima metallic watercolors to add some color to it, and my Nuvo Shimmer pen to add some more sparkle. And then this is from that same cut apart paper. These clips, I'm sure most of you have seen those by now. They're from Chamel Glitter Girl. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So I have 3 of the, or maybe 4 of the 5 that came in the pack. This is a cut file from Just Nick Studios. I have 2 others in here that match this. And then again, I just added some die cuts from the Odds and Ends collection for Fairy Tale, the Doodlebug Fairy Tale collection. And this is actually a speech bubble from the, oh boy, it is from the Hello collection from Doodlebug. I have a lot of those left and they match. The colors still work really well. So just added a unicorn die cut, and these are more strips of papers that came that were on the cut apart. It's just sort of separated the journaling for me. This is a tag from my stash. I used a My Favorite Things star stencil and some Heidi Swapp metallic texture paste. This clip is from my stash. These are all from the collection. I stitched the photo on, and then this is another part of the cut apart paper. This actually is kind of a cute story. This card was sent to my daughter from someone I met on Instagram. I'm so sorry for my voice, guys. I am going through some sort of cold. My ears are all plugged up, and anyway, that might have been TMI, but I have to forgive the sound. Anyway, so this card was sent to my daughter from a friend I met on Instagram. I commented on it and how much I liked it, and shared that my daughter loves unicorns, and she sent it to her for her birthday all the way from Switzerland. Can you believe that? It was so nice of her. She made a beautiful card, and it was really sweet, and my daughter really liked it. So this is a piece of vellum, and this cut file is, I'm pretty sure it's just from the Silhouette store. Just added some washi tape. I stitched it on. Just adding any adhesive, like liquid adhesive, to vellum is not a great idea. It makes it bubble. So this little pocket I created because this is the invitation that I created for her party. Colors don't quite match, but it matches enough for me. And then I tucked in another die cut, and this journaling die cut is part of the collection. This tag was from my stash, but I just put on one of the cut apart phrases and tucked them in here. This is just a piece of mesh that I have had. I've actually quite a bit more. I folded it over, stitched it to my pattern paper, and then I tucked in lots of pretty sequins. These are from Spiegelmom Scraps. That is a mouthful if you're not used to saying it, right? And then some little hearts that I cut from the pattern paper. This is a cut file from the Cut Shop, which is perfect for this album. I used my Nuvo Shimmer pen to add some more sparkle. These sequins are from Pretty Pink Posh, and then this is a sticker from the Mini Icon sticker sheet that matches the Fairy Tales collection. This is a piece of Doodlebug vellum. I have quite a bit of those. I picked up a lot when they first came out. Used one of my border punches, and I had a lot to say in terms of the photos, and I'm not huge on journaling. Most people know that about me, but I had a lot to say and a lot I wanted to share. So a lot of times I stitched the photos on, and then I just wrote underneath it so I could make sure that I had the room to say what I wanted to say, and still include all the photos and the embellishments that I wanted. These are from the cut apart sheet. This is a pocket page from American Crafts that I knew I wanted to include as many sweet sequins and sparkly things as I could. These are from Queen & Co. And if you're not familiar with that company, you have to check them out. They have the cutest little shaker bits I forgot what they call them, but they're little hearts and stars. They have them in so many different themes. They are so cute, and they were perfect for this. These sequins are from Spiegel Mom Scraps again, with some little hearts, and then these die cuts from the Odds and Ends collection. This is a paper clip from my stash, and then these were the decorations I took photos of, and I just these were actually banners from the embellishment pack that I attached to use as tabs, so I could flip up and write the journaling, you know, whatever I wanted to say. So anytime you have a lot of photos, I mean, you can still include them. You just have to think of different ways to incorporate them without making the mini album, you know, not so many anymore, right? This is a cut file from Paige Evans. This is a cut file from the Cut Shop. I didn't realize until I was done how many cut files I put in here, but I have so many, and I love using them. So they add a lot of texture and, you know, just detail that I was happy with. So another clip from the Glitter Girl. I think there was a pack of 5. I think I used 4. There was a dark blue one that just didn't go with this. So here's another pocket. I stitched on a piece of Bella Boulevard transparency. What do you call that? I know there's another word for it. This is a Bella Boulevard bow clip. And then we had a little photo booth that the girls took photos on, and these photo props that I picked up. So I just backed them with pattern paper so I could write the names and some little notes, and stitch some matching ribbon in. I knew I wanted to include all of those, so just tuck them in there. This is my little girl. She got lots of unicorn themed gifts. Again, I wanted to include all the journaling, so I just stitched and attached them at the top so I could write it underneath. I will see if I can put that on one-handed, and I am that talented. Okay, so this is another transparency. These little frames were included in the Odds and Ends embellishment pack, and then these were just cut apart phrases. We had a water balloon fight, so kids had fun playing with that outside. Here was the group of most of the kids. These 2 frames match the one in the beginning I showed you. They're from Just Nick Studios. I backed with vellum, and these are clouds that are included in the collection, and some jewels from Pretty Pink Posh. They are clear, so you can see them. They add a little bit of detail, but don't take away because there's already so much color going on. And then here's just another tag with journaling that I added about her desk that she got. So there's lots of color in this, lots of texture. I love the way it turned out. This is another cut file from the Cut Shop, and I used the Prima metallic paints to paint that. And I added some white gesso to the pattern paper because when I put this on, there's too much fighting of color going on. So it's a good way to just mute out the background, and I stitched it on. And then that is the end. So I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. If you have any questions about what I did, my process, or the products that I use, please feel free to leave me a comment down below, or head over to the blog. There's some more details there. And if you are looking to shop for the next couple of days, Butterfly Reflections Inc. is having a sale. It's 15% off. The store is automatically added in your cart only until the 5th. So you have 2.5 more days to get some shopping done. So I want to thank you just for joining me to look through this. I'm really happy with it. I hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will be back soon with another project. Thanks so much. Have a great day.